You finish a painting, but it doesn't look like the vision in your head. So you tell yourself the same thing every time. I'm simply not talented enough. I've painted thousands of paintings at this point, and let me tell you, that's simply not true. I recently spent 2 hours fighting the colors on this sunset painting, and I still ended up looking like a bit of a muddy mess. Before I learned the fundamentals, I simply would have repainted it and repainted it and repainted it until I eventually got lucky, chasing those happy little accidents. The gap between what you want to paint and what you can paint is not about talent or confidence, it's about education, and today we're closing that gap. I'm giving you this specific language to be able to assess your work and move from being a technician to a true artist, because once that technical gap closes, something else opens up that has nothing to do with skill at all. The first hurdle is the self-taught myth. Most artists make the critical mistake of wanting to feel more confident before they call themselves an artist. They look at their work and they think, I just don't have what it takes. For some reason, there is a narrative out in the art world that if you seek out education, it'll somehow diminish your natural ability. But think about this like a contractor who goes to build a house. You would never hire a natural-born contractor to build a house, especially not one that refused to use a blueprint or a level. You would want them to have an education so they can build a sturdy house for you that's not going to collapse. The problem isn't a character flaw or a lack of ambition, it's a skills gap. You simply haven't been taught the mechanics of painting yet. That means that your frustration is actually a sign of high-level taste. Your eyes are more advanced than what your hands are capable of right now. But even if you accept that you need education, you can't just practice more. If you practice the wrong mechanics, you're getting better at staying stuck. You need the structural blueprint that holds up every painting, irregardless of your style. In a second, I'm going to show you the 3 pillars that allow you to stop guessing and start calculating your way through every masterpiece. To close the gap, you got to stop chasing tips and tricks and start focusing on the 3 components that make up every style of painting. Now, these rules don't just apply to realistic painting. Whether you're an impressionist or an abstract artist looking to create depth, your paintings still live and dies based on value, color, and edge. This book cover is really unique because it has a lifted effect. We've got these scraps of paper and it's got some cast shadows. So we're using value to be able to create depth here. Color, I'm calculating the temperature of the color. As the color moves from here over to this side, it starts to get a little bit warmer because we're in the direct sunshine here. In these books here, right, edges become really important. All of our cast shadows that we have here on the books are nice and sharp. You can see the cast shadows even in this book in and of itself has cast shadows. So I'm thinking about where's the form, where's rounding around the form, where do we have cast shadows, where are those sharp edges? Now, once you understand these concepts, you are no longer just copying, you're actually calculating the behavior of light. But even a perfect blueprint is useless if you don't know how to read it in order to rescue a failing painting. Now, before we go any further, you need to see how I use this language to diagnose that sunset that I was talking about earlier. Most people think the goal of mastering the fundamentals is to paint better pictures. But the real breakthrough isn't about reaching technical perfection. It's about the questions you ask your painting. When I was stuck in my blind guessing, my internal dialogue would always be, I must not be talented enough. Why can't I figure this out? But once I'm able to apply the language of the 3 pillars, I can actually diagnose the failure. I stop fighting my identity and start fighting the technical problem. I can ask my painting questions. Like value. Are the values in the sky too light or too dark to allow that sun to glow? Color. Is the blue base of the sky contaminating my yellow, making my sunset look green, which is adding to that muddy color look? Edge. Is the transition of the colors in the sunset soft enough to create a gradient so it looks like an actual setting sun? This shift gives you access to fix any mistake without the emotional spiral. Once the work starts to look like the vision in your head, you're finally freed up to ask a completely different, very exciting question. What do I actually want to say with my art? That means you've officially moved from being a technician to someone just trying to make things look like the thing to being a true artist. Your creativity is really allowed to soar because you're not wasting all of your energy trying to survive the painting process. Closing the technical gap between your vision and your hands is what unlocks your creative side. At that point, you're able to stop chasing skill and start chasing your own creative voice. But knowing these building blocks exist is only the first step. Mastery only happens when you understand the specific rules of how value, color, and edges interact on a three-dimensional form. To help you master the language of painting right now, I've put together a masterclass playlist on value, edges, and color. This is the exact curriculum I wish I had had when I first started painting. Watch this playlist next to start building the structural bones of your next masterpiece. I'll see you there.